My aunt sent me a video of my family calling my kids an embarrassment while I'd been paying their mortgage for years. They're not like the favorite grandkids, they said. I didn't say anything and acted normally until the next payment came due. My name's Lillian. I'm 35, a mom of two. Miles is 8, Junie is 5, and the oldest child in a loud Midwestern family that thinks honesty means blurting the first cruel thing that comes to mind. I work in accounting. I label school snacks. I keep a folder of warranties like it's a hobby. I'm the one who remembers birthdays and shows up with folding chairs in the trunk just in case. For the last 4 years, I've also been the invisible line item, keeping my parents' house from being foreclosed. Nobody knew except Dad and me. I wired the payment on the 1st. They sent heart emojis in the group chat on the 2nd, like that made us square. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself that when the market settled, when Mom's hours came back, when my brother got promoted, pick a lie, I'd step back. Saturday night, I was packing the kids' backpacks for Monday when my phone buzzed. Aunt Nora, a video message. She never sends videos. I hit play. A living room came into focus. My parents' couch, the mantel with the crooked wedding photo paper plates stacked on the coffee table. Voices overlapped, messy and cheerful. Someone muttered, "Turn it down." There was that thud-thud of a TV sports game in the background. Then my mother's voice, clear as a bell. "They're not like the favorite grandkids." Silence in me. Miles's pencil scratched at the table next to me. My sister-in-law laughed. "God, yes. Have you seen the way Miles dresses those shorts in winter?" My brother Tom added, "And Junie never hugs anyone. It's weird. Kids learn that from their parents." Aunt Nora whispered too close to her mic, "I'm recording. Stop." Mom snorted. "Oh, please. Lillian won't say anything. She never does. She knows her place." Dad's voice floated in, distracted. "We love them, but they are a lot. And Lillian, she's sensitive. Can't joke with her." Someone clinked a glass. My mother again. "Anyway, thank God for Sarah's kids. They're normal. They make us look good. And Lillian's honestly embarrassing." The room roared with the kind of soft, approving laughter families use to pretend they aren't being cruel. The video cut off. I stared at the dark screen, then at the kids. Miles had taped a little reminder on his folder. "Don't forget book fair. $2. Junie was humming to her stuffed rabbit. My throat felt tight like I'd swallowed dry bread. Another message from Aunt Nora popped up. "I hate this. I thought you should know." I typed back, "Thanks." Then I deleted that. Typed, "Got it." Deleted that too. Put the phone face down. Junie looked up. "Mom, you okay?" "Yeah, I'm okay." I wasn't. But I didn't march into a group chat. I didn't call Mom. I didn't text Tom. I wiped glue off the table and packed 2 tiny raincoats because the forecast said maybe. I smiled the way you learn to smile when your family teaches you the price of honesty. And I said nothing. I acted normally. I tucked the video away in my brain like a staple in a drawer. Then I looked at the calendar hanging on the fridge. It was the 27th. The next mortgage payment was due in 4 days. My dad called me his practical one when I was 10 because I never asked for birthday party clowns or theme parks. I asked for a label maker. It wasn't a personality, it was a strategy. Practical buys safety. After college, I moved back to town to help when Dad's back went out and Mom's bakery hours got cut. "It's just a season," they said. I paid the electric bill, then the water, then the phone. It got easier to pay than to argue. Tom was between positions for 3 years. Sarah had 2 kids and a husband who took long business trips that sounded like vacations. I told myself I didn't mind. I made spreadsheets no one asked to see. 4 years ago, Mom called crying because the bank had sent a letter. "We're a month behind. It's just 1 bad month." It wasn't. It was 3 bad months that turned into a pattern. Dad's voice in the background was low, embarrassed. I went over with lasagna, sat at the table, lined up the bills, and saw the hole they were falling into. "I can cover it for a while," I said, "but it has to be a plan. Budget, deadlines." Dad nodded. Mom hugged me like I was a raft. Tom texted me a thumbs up from a bar stool. Sarah sent a heart. The next day, I moved numbers around in our own accounts. I canceled Disney Plus packed leftovers for lunch for a year and put my kids in secondhand cleats. Every first of the month, I wired the mortgage, $1, 347.28 on autopilot. When the escrow went up, I adjusted. I told myself this was what good daughters do. Somewhere along the way, good turned into invisible. The more I did, the less anyone saw. Holidays got weird. Sarah's kids got big, shiny gifts from Nana and Pop. Mine got coloring books from all of us. Tom borrowed my car so often I started keeping the extra key in my bra. When I asked him to put gas in it, he laughed. "You always ruin the vibe." Mom started using words like owed. Little slips. Wow, "we owe you dinner" became "you owe your brother grace." When I asked her to please stop giving my phone number to her friends who wanted quick free tax advice, she said, "Don't be selfish." I talked quieter. I tried to be smaller. Meanwhile, Miles needed occupational therapy. Nothing big, just help with sensory stuff. He hates jeans. He likes to line pencils up by size because it makes the world make sense. We pay out of pocket for part of it. Every Tuesday, I drive him to a strip mall suite with a swing in the ceiling and a therapist who says, "He's a delight." I hold that sentence like a smooth stone in my pocket. If you ask my family about my kids, they'd shrug. They like punchlines. They like Sarah's Instagram more. "Look at those matching outfits," Mom would say. "Why don't you ever coordinate like that?" Because I'm buying your roof and gasping awake at 3:00 a.m., wondering if I remembered to transfer the grocery money back. There were small cuts all the time. Tom joked at Thanksgiving that I'd invoice everyone for the mashed potatoes. Mom told me in front of a table full of relatives that I was too dramatic about food dye because I said no to neon cupcakes for Junie. On New Year's, Dad toasted to family who shows up, and everyone looked around like they were the heroes. Aunt Nora was the exception. She's Mom's younger sister, a quiet woman with lovely bluntness. She brings Tupperware back washed and whispers, "You doing okay?" She knows more than anyone because she sits and listens when other people talk too loud. She saw me Venmo Dad in the kitchen one day and said nothing then, but her eyes changed. 2 months later, she texted, "Are you still covering the house?" I sent a single yes. She sent a single "I'm sorry." Sometimes that's the nicest sentence in the language. When the video came, I watched it twice. The first time I went numb from the neck down. The second time my brain went practical. Timestamps. Who said what? Where they were sitting. How long they'd been drinking. I heard it all. They're not like the favorite grandkids. Embarrassing. She knows her place. I heard Dad's little chuckle, the laugh he does when he wants to belong to Mom's side in a story. I didn't forward it. I didn't confront anyone. I closed the messages and packed the library books. I ran bathwater and peeled stickers off the tub. I put Miles's shorts in the dryer because he refuses pants that hurt his knees. I kissed Junie's forehead. I put the video in a folder on my phone named Receipts because I'm petty and also because sometimes labels keep you from drowning. The next morning, church. I sat behind my parents. Mom turned and squeezed my hand. "You're coming to lunch?" she asked like nothing had happened. I smiled. "Of course." She kissed Junie's hair and said, "You know Grandma loves you best," out loud in front of Sarah's kids, who pretend not to hear, but always do. At lunch, Sarah showed Mom a video of her daughter's dance recital and everyone clapped at a screen. Dad asked me if I had any fun big plans, and I said the fun big plan was replacing a tire. Tom said, "Classic Lillian." He meant boring. I took the check because of course I did. Mom pretended not to see. On the drive home, Miles asked why Nana called him a lot. I said, "Sometimes grown-ups don't use good words." He said, "I like shorts." I said, "Me too." I kept my voice steady and my foot light on the brake because the thing about anger is, it likes to crash into poles if you let it. That night, I looked at the kitchen calendar again. 4 days to the 1st. My fingers hovered over the banking app. My chest did that tight ache. I closed the app. I set a reminder for garbage night. I texted Aunt Nora, "Thank you for sending it. Please don't tell anyone you did." She wrote back, "I won't, but I'm done letting them pretend." I stared at her words for a long time. Then I did the only thing I knew how to do. I waited. I acted normally and I let the month run out. On the 1st, I made pancakes in dinosaur shapes. I packed 2 lunches. I logged into the bank. I hovered over the familiar button wire payment mortgage. And for the first time in 4 years, I didn't press it. My phone rang at 9:12 a.m. "Mom!" I let it go to voicemail. I wasn't being dramatic. I was putting a boundary where a vein had been. At 9:03 a.m., Dad called. At 11:17, Tom. At lunch, a group chat notification. Family dinner Saturday. Sarah sent a photo of cupcakes. I sent a thumbs up. I was normal, remember. At 4:40 p.m., Mom texted. Bank called about a hiccup. "Did your transfer fail?" I typed. "Yes." Oh, she replied. "Probably just a glitch. Can you fix it tonight?" I stared at those words. 4 years of my money was a glitch. At 6:02 p.m., I called a family meeting on my turf. "Come by after dinner," I said. "I've got something to show you." They arrived with noise. Tom with his smirk, Sarah with her camera-ready smile, Mom with a Tupperware of brownies, like hospitality could bribe gravity. Dad avoided my eyes. I set my laptop on the dining table. I pulled up a neat folder. Mortgage payments, 48 months. Receipts, confirmation numbers. Dates, $67, 126.91 in total. Then another folder. Cash apps, utilities, repairs, the new water heater, the roof patch, Christmas from Nana and Pop, gas money for Tom because his card was acting up. I didn't raise my voice. I clicked. I let silence do the work. Finally, I played Aunt Nora's video. No one breathed for the length of it. It finished. I clicked it again. It played again. Mom's face drained. Nora recorded in my house. I looked at her. That's what you heard. Tom laughed once too loud. So you're spying now? That's creepy, Lillian. I held my breath between my teeth and let it go slow. Starting today, I am done paying your mortgage. I am done paying your bills. I am done being your silent budget line. I'm not your bank. I'm your daughter. Mom's mouth opened. You can't do this to us. I met her eyes. You did this to me and to my kids. The first volley landed that night. Group chat blow up. A classic. Mom, after all we've done for you, this is how you treat us. Tom, wow, cold. Sarah, maybe we can talk about tone. Dad, let's be reasonable. I muted the thread and washed dishes. It felt almost cinematic to scrub brownie crust off a pan while being called ungrateful in bubbles that popped and repopulated. At 8:22 p.m., Aunt Nora texted, You okay? I answered with the truth, shaking but steady. Day 2, the bank called them again. Mom left me a voicemail with that brittle, bright voice she uses for customer service disputes. Honey, just send it. We'll pay you back next month. Next month. The old fairy tale. I wrote back. I won't be resuming payments. She called instantly. This is financial abuse, she said. I almost dropped the phone. You called me what? You heard me, she snapped. You've held this over us to feel powerful. I laughed one hard bark. I held your roof up, not a sword. She hung up. I spent the rest of the week doing normal life at a volume I could stand. Work. School pickups. A cheap dinner where the waitress called Junie Honeybee, and I almost cried over a basket of fries. I moved the money that would have gone to the mortgage into a separate savings account labeled Kids. I booked Miles 2 extra OT sessions because progress isn't a luxury. I replaced the cracked screen on my phone. I bought socks that match. On Friday, Dad showed up on my porch alone. He looked older. Shoulders caved in like bad posture became a diagnosis. He sat at my table and folded his hands. Your mother is upset. I heard the dishwasher cycling behind me like it was going to testify. You know your brother's had a rough time. Your mother wants to keep the peace. Dad, I said, do you think my kids are an embarrassment? He flinched. Hurt flashed across his face like a match. Of course not. Then say it to Mom, to the room where it counts. He stared at his hands. You know how she gets. I waited. He didn't look up. Something inside me loosened and then hardened in layers. Sadness first, then resolve. Here are 3 numbers for housing counselors, I said, sliding a paper across the table. They're free. They'll help you talk to the bank. I will watch your dog while you meet them. I will not pay your mortgage. He looked at the paper like it was a foreign alphabet. Your mother's going to make this ugly. She already did. Dad stood. You've always been my practical one, he said. And for a second I saw him as a man separate from his wife. Small. Sorry. Tired. I'm sorry. I know you did. Sorry doesn't pay escrow. Saturday was family dinner. I told the kids we weren't going. Miles nodded, used to schedule shifting. Junie asked if Grandma was mad. I said, Grandma is figuring out how to be kind. Kids deserve sentences that don't pretend. At 8:22 p.m., while we were building a lopsided pillow fort, my phone blew up. The group chat was a bonfire. Sarah, I just feel like you ambushed us with the video. Tom, you humiliated Mom. Mom, I raised you, I carried you. I deserve respect. Dad, let's talk on Sunday. Me, I won't discuss anything until the mortgage is addressed with the bank. Mom, there it is. Conditions, transactional love. Me, boundaries. Tom sent a meme. Of course he did. Aunt Nora broke ranks. I recorded it because nobody believes Lillian when she speaks. I'm done watching her be used. Then silence. You could feel the oxygen leave the room even through a screen. Sunday morning, my doorbell rang. Sarah stood on the porch with 2 perfect cupcakes in a white box and apologies staged in her eyebrows. I think we got off on the wrong foot, she said. You know Mom. She says things. She says them and means them, I replied. That's the problem. She glanced past me like the house might help. We can fix this. Just send the payment and we'll all... No. Her smile cracked. It's 1 payment. It's $49 and I'm done. She exhaled through her nose the way Mom does when waiters get her order wrong. You're punishing the whole family because your kid wears shorts in winter. There it was. I stepped into the doorway until the threshold was a line across both our shoes. My kid wears shorts because jeans feel like sandpaper. He is funny and gentle, and I'd burn a city to keep him safe. I won't fund people calling him an embarrassment. She flushed. You're overreacting. I'm regulating. I shut the door. Because peace is sometimes a wooden latch decision. On Monday, Mom called from a different angle. Oh, we'll lose the house. We'll be homeless. Fear as a fishing lure. You won't, I said. You'll call the counselors. You'll sell the jet ski Tom parked in your garage. You'll stop paying for 3 streaming services. You'll tell the truth to the bank about your income, and you'll make a plan. She sobbed. She called me heartless. She hung up. She called back with a new strategy. What will people think of you? The old currency. I didn't spend it. By Wednesday, the consequences started. The bank posted the late fee. Mom posted a Facebook status about children who forget who fed them. Comments rolled in from cousins who don't know anything about anything. Aunt Nora commented one sentence. Feeding is not a lifetime bill. Then she texted me a photo of her new block list. The more noise they made, the quieter my house got. Miles learned to crack eggs without getting shell in the bowl. Junie started sleeping through the night again because I wasn't doom scrolling at 2:00 a.m. I dropped a shift of unpaid emotional labor and picked up an hour of lying on the floor with my kids while a ceiling fan clicked like a metronome for calm. At the end of the week, Dad texted me a photo of a form. Hardship assistance application. He'd filled in most of it. His handwriting looked like it was trying not to shake. Will you check if this number is right? He asked. Yes, I wrote. Proud of you. He replied with a single blue heart. The smallest, truest things. Tom posted a meme about people who think they're better than their own family. Sarah posted a beach photo from a day trip with a caption about choosing joy. Mom texted me 3 screenshots of housing listings far away, meant to scare me. None of it shifted the needle inside me anymore. I had put the lever down. It was bolted. The second week, Aunt Nora called laughing. Your mother's mad at me. Welcome to the club. She says I broke the circle. It was a drain, she said. On the 15th, Mom texted. If you loved us, you'd help. I replied. I do. Love without boundaries is access. No answer. That night, Dad said the bank offered a trial plan. We can manage. We should have before. I'm glad. Miles asked about Easter. We're making our own, I said. He nodded. I moved the mortgage money to kids' booked swim lessons, bought jeans that fit, watched them chalk galaxies on the steps. Price of a roof. Price of a boundary. Week 3. Mom sent a photo of a box. Packing. Nora texted, she's cleaning. Make muffins, she added. I laughed. End of the month. Late notice. Then Dad texted again. First trial payment made. Good, I replied. Thank you for stopping. I cried in the kitchen. I didn't post the video. I kept it. Later, Mom texted. We're figuring it out. You hurt me. You hurt my kids. What changes? I'll drive Dad, not send money. I'll show up. Leave at the first insult. Love isn't a subscription. Nora visits Tuesdays. Not neat, but real. Dad learning bills. My kids laughing. Practical isn't martyrdom. I won't be your solution and scapegoat.